if you're looking to start a YouTube channel in 2025 that can actually make you $1,000 per month or more, then there are 10 YouTube niches that you need to avoid like the plague. Not only do these YouTube niches have very low CPMs, which means that you get paid very little per 1,000 views, but they also don't have a lot of other wiggle room for other income streams such as digital products or affiliate marketing or anything like that. And so at the end of the day, these niches can't make a lot of money at all. So in this video, I'm going to be going over these niches and explaining why they don't work. And I'll also tell you at the end what you need to do instead. So without further ado, let's jump into the 10 niches that you need to avoid. Dum, dum, dum. All right, so the first niche that you need to avoid is general entertainment. These are channels like comedy skits, memes, or reaction channels. And so the problem with these kinds of channels is it's very, very hard to monetize your channel unless you get some sponsor deals or you can have some merchandise. But then again, it's really difficult to do that, especially if stuff is trademarked or you need to worry about copyright. So I would just avoid this in general. Rather make your own authentic content than using other people's content and reacting on it. I know it can be very tempting, but just don't do it. The second niche that you need to avoid is vlogging, especially if it doesn't have a clear focus. So don't get me wrong, vlogging is great. I have a couple of channels that I watch who primarily vlogs, but the thing is that those channels have a very specific focus. So what I mean by this is you shouldn't just start a vlogging channel for the sake of, recording your life and doing all of these different random things on your channel, because that has no clear purpose. If you want to do a vlogging channel, you really need to have a clear focus, such as you specifically focus on showing children activities, if you take your children out on trips, or camping activities or things like that. So have a really clear focus about the things that you vlog. Don't just vlog random things, because the problem with this is no one knows you at first. And so if you're going to start a channel that's just based on yourself, you are amazing, but no one knows you yet. And so rather just start a channel by focusing on a specific vlogging topic, and then later you can expand and show other parts of your life as well. The next niche that you should probably avoid and steer clear of is the gaming niche. Now, again, don't get me wrong, I have seen gaming channels that do extremely well. But if you go and look at these gaming channels, you'll often see that these channels had to be on YouTube for 5+ years before they actually reached success. Now, I don't know about you, but I am on YouTube to make money and I don't want to wait forever. So if you are willing to wait and you're really patient, you can go for it. But if you want to start making money early on, I would rather avoid the gaming niche and focus on something else that, has that technical aspect. So you can do reviews of products, or you can have gadgets or things like that instead of gaming specifically. And the reason I say you should avoid this niche is because a lot of advertisers aren't willing to pay a lot of money for this, so it has a very low CPM. And also, there isn't really much you can do in terms of digital products. You can maybe sell some merchandise, but again, you need to be careful of copyrighted things. So I would just steer clear completely. And in fact, one of my close family members had a gaming channel. He started it at the beginning of 2024, and he's decided to quit because it's just not worth it. After about 140 videos in a single year, there's almost still no traction. So it's really difficult to get noticed in this industry as well. Now, getting to the fourth niche that you need to avoid, and that is ASMR. Now, again, I love ASMR. I watch ASMR channels, but the problem with this niche is that it is oversaturated at this point. There are so many ASMR channels. It's really difficult to get recognized, and also advertisers aren't really willing to pay a lot of money. Now, again, you can make ASMR work, especially if you have specific things that you do. I've seen a couple of channels, for example, when I go on my feed, where they review crystals that you can eat. So like silky gem crystals or something like that. And so they'll mimic the sounds that it makes when it crunches in their mouth or something like that. And those sponsors will pay them, or they'll maybe have an affiliate link for people to buy these crystals themselves and they can eat it. But again, the thing with this is you need to have a very large following if you want to make this work, because if you, for example, get 10% commission when you advertise this product on your own channel and the company only pays you about 10% for every crystal that you sell, then that's not a lot of money, and it's going to take you forever to start gaining traction and make your channel profitable. The fifth niche that you need to avoid is time-lapse videos. Now, you can have time-lapse videos on your channel, but don't make your entire channel about time-lapse. So I know this because I had an art time-lapse channel. Initially, I don't think anybody really knows this, only my family members. I had a channel that did time-lapses of digital art. So I would make digital paintings on Photoshop, and it took me forever. I'm telling you guys, it took me about 2 to 3 days to create a single video. And my husband had to edit the videos for me because at that time I didn't know a lot about editing. And those videos literally got in the single digit views. Sometimes I got a couple of 100 views, but that's it. And the amount of effort that you need to put into time-lapse videos, if you are just focusing on time-lapse videos on your channel, is just, it's not worth it. It's not worth it. Instead, you can rather focus on creating a channel like I'm doing here. So take the thing that you want to time lapse. So let's say, for example, it's art, digital art. Then you can rather go ahead and teach people how to do digital art and then weave in some time lapse videos in between. So you can still have it there, but just don't make the main focus of your channel just time lapses. It's also going to make it a lot easier for you to teach people the skills, and then you can have your own digital products. You can have sponsors. You can make money through YouTube AdSense. So there are so many different things that you can do once you start teaching people the thing that you're time lapsing. The sixth niche that you need to avoid is a pranking niche. Everybody loves a good laugh, but the problem with the pranking niche is that a lot of advertisers don't like pranking channels because they consider the content as risky or controversial. And so that means that the CPMs are really low. And sometimes these videos also face demonetization because YouTube may think you're going against their guidelines. So it's really risky to do something like this. It can be done. Don't get me wrong, it can be done. All of these niches can be done, but they're just very risky and they may take very long. So yeah, I'd say rather stay clear of this niche. The next niche that you need to steer clear from is the fan edits or fandom content. Essentially, this is when you create content based on a specific TV show or series or something popular, like a game, a movie, etc. And so the problem with this niche is that a lot of advertisers do not like being associated with these kinds of channels because they again see it as risky. And so you definitely have a risk of being demonetized because of copyright. And there also aren't a lot of products that you can sell as well as affiliate products. So yeah, it's not really profitable and I'd rather just avoid it. Next up, you want to avoid compilation channels. So with compilation channels, what this essentially means is it's if you create a channel where you combine different videos or memes or things from that other creators made. The risk with this is, again, copyright, because YouTube can demonetize your videos if they see that you created videos from taking other creators' content. Oh, that's a tongue twister. But basically, YouTube doesn't like it if you repurpose content from other creators and you use it on your own channel. Again, you can make this work if you're very careful, but I wouldn't go through all of this effort for the amount of money that you'll be able to earn from your channel. Plus, you don't want to wake up the next morning to a message of YouTube telling you that they've completely scrapped your channel because you've copyrighted people. It's just too risky. Next up, you want to avoid the low tech niche. So you don't want to create a channel that reviews only low cost tech. Now, don't get me wrong, you can definitely create a channel that reviews different technology and tools and gadgets, provided that those tools and gadgets actually cost a bit of money, right? You don't want to just review small products like, let's say, for example, my keyboard that costs under $50 or, a mic that costs $10 or things like that. You then really want to focus on finding expensive products that you can review because you're mainly going to rely on affiliate income. So getting people to pay you to promote their products. And if you only promote $10 products, it means you're going to get around 10% commission or maybe more, depending on what platform you use. But 10% of $10 is $1 per product that you get to sell through your video. And yeah, in my opinion, that's just not worth it, except if you have a very high volume channel where you get thousands or millions of views, then it may work, but especially in the beginning, you're not going to make a lot of money at all. The last niche that you want to avoid is personal rant channels. So the thing with personal rant channels is your content is probably going to be across the board. So you're going to have personal rants on celebrities, you're going to have it on TV shows, you're going to have it on fashion, you're going to have it on so many different things, or politics. And the problem with that is that YouTube can't identify a clear niche for you. And so it's not going to be able to recommend it to the right people necessarily, or it may, but it's going to take a while to do that. And so the CPM for those kinds of channels can be very inconsistent because one video may have a super high CPM while others have almost a non-existent CPM. And so it's just too unpredictable. Plus, again, you don't want YouTube to demonetize your channel because you're saying something maybe offensive or controversial. Now, I do have a bonus niche that I think you need to avoid, but this is just personal opinion. And I know I'm going to get some people who's going to tell me this is false, but this is just what I've personally seen. So another niche that I would highly recommend you avoid is a faceless channel. Now, before you come for me, hear me out. Faceless channels are amazing if you really, really struggle to talk on YouTube. So let's say, for example, you really can't speak English and you struggle so much and it makes you feel so bad about yourself and shy, then sure, create a faceless niche. But the problem with that is that faceless niches, I predict, aren't going to work for much longer because in today's day and age, people crave authenticity. They want to connect with the creator behind the content. And so if you're only going to create faceless content where your subscribers can't get to know you at all, then I don't know how long it's going to work. It could potentially work if you use your voice in the background. That's fine. I've seen many channels succeed doing that. But if you have literally no elements of yourself in the video, so not your voice, not your face, nothing about you, then why would a viewer choose to watch your content rather than someone else who's covering the same content, but they're actually showing themselves? Now, I know the reason why a lot of you do faceless channels or are considering faceless channels is maybe because of language barriers, or perhaps you're super shy, but I promise you, YouTube does get better over time. The more you do it, it's like a muscle that develops and you're going to get more and more confident. The other day, I was speaking to one of my clients and she told me that she thought I was an English native speaker. You see, I don't even know if I said that right. And I am not. I actually have Afrikaans as first language. I'm from South Africa. And so that's the language that I speak at my house. But I've trained myself over the years to speak English. And so it is more than possible. You're going to get better at it. Okay, so now that you know the niches that you absolutely need to avoid this year and beyond, if you want to learn more about how you can find a very profitable niche that suits your skills and your passions, then you can go ahead and watch this video right over here where I covered a full course explaining how you can identify a niche step by step. I hope you enjoyed this video and I'll see you in the next one. Bye for now.